Hello, hello, hello. How are y'all doing today? Back again. Let me just check something out. No. Give me 1 second, I guess. There we go. What? Let's fix this real quick. All right. Yeah, there's like we cannot automate everything, I guess. Yeah, we can try. Like I decided to just go forward with this. Okay, let me just connect my phone. So the first thing that we're going to do, I think right now, I'm just gonna play around a little bit with ah. Hey, was that another stream or I had a dream about a stream today? No, it's another stream today. As I was saying, like in the morning, I'm thinking about like streaming in the afternoons as well. A little bit. Today is going to be a little bit less than I want to, but it took me a little bit of time to get reset up everything. So, but it's going to be a little bit of a different stream, different vibe. Mornings we're gonna be continue playing games and stuff like that, but afternoons I have some software to develop from time to time, and something looks like something is slow. I don't know. Like I got the newer version of the plugin, but it might not be thingy. So I have an idea for a game, and I wanted to make it happen. As simple as that. So I decided, why not do this while we are live and we can learn. I can learn and we can learn, and there we go. Sounds good. I hope so, because kind of what my thoughts are. Okay, I think I clicked already, so you all should be seeing the screen. Um, I'll have to do like some changes, but for right now, I think that's going to be it. Let me just, I'm gonna add my camera. And there we go, my camera. I'm not sure where my camera will sit best, but right now let's use maybe this corner here, and we'll go from there. We're gonna jump to like a secondary desktop, I guess, but for right now, I think that's going to be it. I am missing a bunch of notifications, so on the fly we are also so this is going to change some screens. Don't get frightened. But oh, interesting. Just chatting doesn't have anything. Interesting. Because this is a wrong just chatting. Exactly. Okay, let me just pick up all of these notifications from here and from here, and let's paste them. My desktop is so clean, dude. I tell you that I had to kind of press a button to make that happen. Okay, my desktop has a bunch of icons on this side and a bunch of icons on this side and a bunch of icons on this side. But I found out that if you come here to more options, press view, you can just show or hide your desktop. And to be fair, like I started this very cleanly. There was just like a couple of them here, but then it just went crazy, right? But that's basically it. So the first thing that I was trying to do, so this is like our streamer bot thingy. I was trying to automate like this execution. It was pretty cool. So this is C#. This is like the streamer bot. A lot of these things I don't think y'all will know about, but uh, there's so this code should work, but it's not working as expected. So I'm going to not mess up with this too much. I'm just gonna move this down, and it started to rain a lot. That's always good. So full screen is here, camera is there. Okay, you never knew that. Like I had to search for it, and in order to get it. So I'm assuming it's not like the most common information all over the place, but now you'll know. Okay, so I think we can press the live button on this side. Yeah, so so for today, we only have like an hour-ish of time. So I think what we're going to do today is going through some of like I wanted to do a video game, right? Like I think we talked about this in stream, but and in order to do that, I think we would have to like I have an idea. I have like more or less what I want to do. Like I have this in my head, but I think it's gonna be like too big of a game to produce, especially because I don't have like any experience developing games, right? So like that's going to be like the premise here. But and I think I want to give like some perspective or somewhere like in the screen. I'm gonna put some of that information or provide that information as part of like some commands or something like that, so that like people can have like an idea of what is the thing here. And I think we're in the wrong category, right? I think we're in the wrong category. Let me just adjust our category here. Let's go to software. There we go. It's not a lot of people there. Let's get on this one. Does this one provide me that option, the green website? Let me check. I think this is a game. Software development. I don't know if this is a game or not. Feels like a game, but I don't know. I don't know. Are you making it from scratch like Factorio, just C++ and STL2? Yes, that's basically my idea. I'm going to do it everything by hand and without anything. No. So what I'm going to like, so this is the project that I wanted to do. So I have a project that I want to do, but I think it's too much to like just to get us started. So what my plan is, I'm going to do something smaller first, and then from there try to make it bigger, right? Like try to make another one that kind of does what, like that's basically my objective. But as I said, no experience at all, and like with like any engines, I played a little bit with Unreal. I had like some basic thing done in Unreal. When I say basic thing, I say like a box, and copied some tutorials around, tried to understand a little bit like how to move things, made like a map, and that was it. But then after talking like with Bogdan the other day, I was kind of convinced me that I should try Godot. So I think I'm gonna try to do that. But as I was like having this idea for like a smaller game, you don't have any like you have like no idea what just happened. It was like I ended up with like this huge game again. So it's like it is crazy. You know what leaves you're using? No, I don't know. I don't know anything. I started though like twice or three times, right? I tried to do like one thing here, one thing there, just to see like UI and that, but that was it. That was the extent of it. So I found some pretty cool stuff in each. Let me just move this here. So I found some pretty cool stuff in each here, right? And okay, there's like some very interesting things going on there. But basically, I really like the collection from K-Kit. Like I really like a bunch of their collections, and I'm really tempted to just try to use their assets for the thing that we are going to do. And maybe it makes sense for me now to kind of explain what is that, right? And I should have prepared it a little bit beforehand, so like I could have like a text editor or whatever, right? That could allow us to do what we need to do, right? But I don't think that's the case. So that's not the thing. And I think right now we're gonna go to just chatting. And we are going to open a new folder, and I'm going to okay, let's open this here, and I'm going back to coding. There we go. And yes, I'll trust the authors here. So basically, what is this? What is my idea? Like idea, txt, whatever, right? So the idea behind what I was doing, what I was like planning to start this, I really like I like I had this debate with myself, and maybe we can have what is, I don't know, like what control plus, does this control plus work? No, it doesn't, right? Font, let me see, increase font, my god, like just ignore the fact that I don't know how to work with this thing here. Isn't there like a control A? Is it control A? Control shift A? Font, increase font in editor, shift alt dot, okay, there we go. And we can have that, and there's agents on that side. Cool. So I was having like some questions here. I was not 100% sure what to do. If I should go like 2D, 3D, but the idea that I had, it was like by the name that y'all saw there, like so up here it says like farming sim. So I wanted to learn how to do something that would involve not a lot of mechanics, but at the same time would give me like a little bit of understanding of of everything, right? So what is the thing that I was thinking? So I was thinking about farming, because what does farming allow for me to do? So you'd have to like do something to create the crops, like, so you'd have to like create crops, right? You'd have to sell them in some sense, sell the crops, and make your world like increase, how do I say, increase the increase like the crops, no, increase the revenue in some way, so you can have like some sort of like a gaming loop, right? And this was more or less like the idea. And by thinking like about this, I was like, if I do 2D, it's going to pretty much look like Stardew Valley, right? It's going to be like similar to that, right? But at the same time, it is it doesn't have like all the things that Stardew Valley has, like all the social stuff, blah blah blah, and so on. It would be like a much more limited version of it. So I was much more inclined to go through like some sort of like a 3D version of the game, which kind of doesn't feel like there's anything like, okay, if we think about like farm simulator and stuff like that, yeah, that's like a lot. We're not even thinking like that far, but 3D felt a little bit better. But then I started thinking like, yeah, but then do we want to have like terrains that are like going up and down with a smaller, bigger, and like different heights, blah blah blah. And I was like, I don't know if we care about that. So my simple idea was, if I just do paint, right? My simple idea to get us started was to have some sort of a like field-ish that would have some sort of like a house, just some sort of a house. I'm not sure how like this would go in. And then the player would have like only the ability to do like whatever farming happens like on this area here, right? And so that was more or less the idea. And for that, this kind of feels like more a 2D thing, but I really would prefer to do it 3D, even though I think it's more complicated. But the idea would be you'd have your little character that would just go around. You just be able to have like some pre-made slots of where you can plant stuff, and you can plant a plant there, plant another plant there, and so on, and just plant them all. So you end up with some sort of a grid system for your terrain that feels that is not like too crazy, and it'd be more like voxel like, where you can have one crop in here, you can have another crop in there, another crop in there, another crop in there, right? Like you could have your crops somewhere on this side. So that would be like the more mechanical ish part of the game. So the second part of the game, floating islands, maybe we're getting to something. So on that sense, there wouldn't be like Stardew Valley would have like a town here, right? You just could walk there, blah blah blah. So what happened next was that then you need to somehow sell your crops, right? Like you need to sell your crops in some way. And so, for example, like for an example like of Stardew Valley, you'd have like a box here, right? You just shove everything in there and it gets sold. So that's not like the plan. The plan is, and that's I think where like complexity starts going through the roof, is that there are going to be at least 3 cities. And you can sell to all these 3 cities. Of course, I think this is going to be not going to be like the first phase of the game or something like that. In the first phase, I think we're going to just have, like, for example, like this part here. And this town would be like the main town that you'd start with selling. I'm not 100% sure if we'll be able to access it, so if you will be able to go inside, if you wouldn't be able to go inside or not, but that would be it. And the idea is that there's like some sort of like an economy between these 3 towns that will require different types of crops in different types of towns, and prices will go up when there's excess, go down, like normal market economy that would just roll between these 3 towns. But to make things simpler in the beginning, I think what's going to happen is that there's going to be like some sort of like seasonality, I guess that's the name, where like this particular town that we have here is going to basically just get the prices up, get the prices down. Very simple economy. But there's going to be like progression. There has to be some sort of a progression as well, because just farming and selling, I don't think it's going to be interesting, right? So there's going to be like different parts of this progression. One is going to be, how do you make your crops like faster, that consume less time for you to be planting, and you have like more time doing stuff. There's going to be another pillar of progression that is related to the economy. So you will be able to sell, but you cannot sell directly automatically, right? So when something happens, when you want to sell something from here, somebody will have to do this path here, sell the stuff, and then come back, and so you can get your money, right? So that's kind of the second mechanic of the game is going to be selling stuff, because like in the future the idea would be that these three towns, because there's like competing economies here, sometimes this is going to be higher, sometimes this is going to be higher, like the prices, and you might want to go here, but in order for you to go here, it's going to take more time to get there, and that could cause this price to go down when you get there, and you'll not be able to sell it at the price that you thought you could, I guess. And that was more or less like the idea, not right now, but in the future. So there's this pillar here, right down, that is going to basically control the economy in some sense, where you just like you'll be able to go faster, you're going to be slower, you get like some more easier stuff or more difficult stuff. Like the easier stuff, like you can reach there faster, or you reach there slower, or you can eventually like manipulate the market in some way. So that's like the second pillar, and I think that was it. Hey Bogdan, how you doing? And the idea would be that eventually what will happen is that there's going to be like a second entrance here, where the trucks will go in here, right? And then you'd have to like feed up the trucks with whatever you want, or the trucks or the airships will feed up here, and then they would be sent that way. So like you'd have to plant here something, wait for it to grow, sow it, and then just find a way to sell it. So that is more or less the idea. Like doing this in 3D in some way, that kind of feels like, I think it should be an interesting challenge. I'm not sure like how much we're going to really win. I think we would win if you'd be able to drive whatever this is from here all the way to those towns, right? I think that would be like, in terms of like 3D, it would be like the best scenario if we could get there. But I don't think we'll be able to get like that far, or it would be, because that's like just like a game in itself, right? But it could be like a mini game as well, where you'd have, when you go, you just have like some sort of like, there's like a set of like mini games that you play, and that will make you get there faster or slower, and that could be maybe interesting to start with. So that's something that we can think about. So that's more or less the full picture idea of this. So I think to start with, this would be some sort of like voxel-like terrain. Even though we're gonna do 3D, for character movement in this area and stuff like that. And we'll see if that makes sense, if that doesn't make sense. If it doesn't make sense, maybe we'll have to rethink it and maybe think it about in 2D. It would be enough. But I really like these. I really like these packs that are here, like these 3D packs, and that we have like these characters and stuff like that. So I don't know. I guess we'll find out as we are going. So basically, the idea is the loop, the gaming loop would be that you create your crops, then you tend to your crops, you sell those crops, and then you need to find ways to increase your revenue. So the next part of the game is like the increasing the revenue, and that's like the third area here. And that's like some sort of like manufacturing, like, or improvement of your crops. So eventually you'd be able to build other buildings. Let me just maybe give it another color, this brownish. Okay. Other buildings that will allow you to do other things. So for example, this could be a kitchen. This will be a kitchen. And when you get like these things from here, like your crops, you take them to the kitchen, you prepare a bunch of like meals, and then these meals can be sold to like this town or that town, depending on the demand that exists. And you just have to like cook them in some way, just transport them to the trucks, and then the trucks will take them. So that would be the thing. I also thought about something like, for example, like bees. That could be something that would be interesting to add as well, where just have some sort of like pollination thing if we want, or have like even better like products coming out from here. And given the theme that I haven't talked about yet, more things might come up here, some sort of like more industrial buildings, where, for example, like the bees, you could process the wax into, let's call it biodiesel, in some biodiesel form that you'd have to sell in this area, or biodiesel or construction material and stuff like that. So that's kind of, I think I went through the full idea of it, and it just took me like what, 15 minutes. But yeah, so the main, but like if we roll back a little bit, the main idea, like the initial idea that we have here for the game itself is going to be much simpler than this full mumbo jumbo of things that will happen eventually in the future, like in later versions of the game, right? So you'd have a farm that is going to be something like this. There will be some sort of a house on that particular farm, and then you'd have some plots that you can put crops in, so you'd have to tend for the crops and stuff like that. You'll have a unloading area here, or a loading area, that you need to like ask for trucks to come in, and you need to put your stuff there, like you collect it from here, and then you'd have to put it over there, right? So in order for them to sell, if you want to sell like whatever crops. So maybe, I think the other thing that will have to exist in some place, maybe in here, or maybe on this side or something like that, there will have to be like some sort of like storage warehouse or something of the sorts for you to store your crops. And I think that is going to be it for like, oh, of course, and the initial city here that you'll be able to just sell. The trucks will be able to sell and come back and give you money, right? So like this is just like a time consumption there. Like that's not put letters like this. Time constraint here. And then there's going to be some sort of like an economy that is going to roll that into place, right? So that's kind of the gist and the first thing that we want to accomplish here. So yeah, that's it. Just that. Simple, easy, and extremely complicated. It's just, I'm just kidding. It's gonna be very complicated. But so that's that. That's the idea. Simple, easy. Yeah, so like it's like people say like, oh my god, like inventory systems are very complicated and all of that, and and I think that we'll have to dabble a little bit on that, but I'm quite sure that there's going to be like solutions that we could just tap into it. We'd have some sort of like tech tree-ish to give it like some sort of RPG like style where you'd get better at doing some things and so on. So that's that. simple, easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? Voila. All right, so how do we get this going? So as I was saying before, um, I think I like some of the things that some of like these packs from K. I think I really like the design style of them. Nevertheless, I don't think they kind of match the theme that I was thinking about. So, and I alluded to a little bit of that when I talked about what is in here, right? Like which I said trucks, but it could be like airships and so on. So the idea is that this is going to be somewhat more of like a steampunk ish theme. So some of these things I think are going to be a little bit more difficult to accomplish or to get there. But like I saw, I think it was this one, was this one? Maybe like this one has printed interesting things on it, and that we could use to get like some of the blocks for our floor, if that's something that we're interested in. Like these blocks are, I think they are 3D, even though like I think we're gonna lose the majority of the goodness of them, because the goodness of them is like on the sides, and the sides are going to be like smooshed together once against the others, right? So we'll have to see, but the basic idea is like having some sort of a grid that will go from there. So that's that. And my initial idea was to use this characters pack as our character player. This one was like, it was an interesting one because it was one that looked like more like a farmerish, but at the same time we kind of, because of the theme itself, it's going to be hard to find something that, let me see this one, find something that would be cool and that would be like manage like the theme that we were talking about, right? And there's tags. Like this website's a little bit hard to like. I have a little bit of a hard time finding the things that I want in this particular website, because it just allows me to select one tag at a time or something. So it's like, but at least like my initial idea is going to be, I think we're going to use this for our player character for right now. It's not really in theme, but I'm still vacillating. I'm still like thinking between like having 3D, no, a third person view or a first person view. I'm not 100% sure which one would be more interesting for everything to go that we should go for. Some of this might be interesting for the limitation like on the outside, and we'll see what we can do with these blocks. See if these blocks are cool enough, are good enough for us to get us started. Hey Jens. So I was talking through, like I spent the last 20 minutes trying to explain the idea. But what this is it. That it's easy. That's basically what we are aiming for. But to cut this short and to cut this into like what an initial phase of this would look like is basically there's going to be, you have like a plot of land, which right now it's going to be just very squarish. Everything's going to be I'm going to try to make it as simple as possible, right? It's going to be like a squarish. You'll have some sort of like a house in this area that I'm not sure like what you'll be able to do inside, but I think there's going to be like some sleeping way and things like that. But it's going to be like a very simple house here. And then there's going to be an amount of squares that are kind of squares. that you can plant stuff on. And then basically the game loop is something around the lines of you come here, you plant some stuff, you collect, you sow stuff from other places, and you bring stuff to a warehouse. Let's say that we have a warehouse here, or like some sort of like storage, or you can have like multiple storage. Like we'll see how things go, but and then you plant more, you store more, and so on. And there's going to be, for right now, one city that is going to be like we'll have like a season-based economy for right now that basically will buy your stuff. And the idea is that you're not going to be selling it directly to start with. You're going to have some sort of like an intermediary that you will collect, you will pay them to basically take your crops and sell them into this town, and then they'll come back and give you the money. So there's like a time between you sell and you get your money back. So there's like a thing that you need to address there, right? And then you need to sow more, like in buy. And the idea is that then there's going to be some sort of like tech tree-ish, like not too crazy, like RPG style thing, where you'd get better, you'll be able to sow faster, you'll be able to get your plants like watered faster, you'll get access to better material, like better hose, better watering cans and stuff like that, and will make this process a little bit faster. And eventually in the future, not like in the first version of this, there's going to be automation that is going to allow you to do like all this. I'm going to command Z all this. So this is going to be like basically like the starts. And I think like if I can get this point, I think it's going to be pretty good. But the objective is you will have the same thing that I was showing you, but there are going to be on this side a bigger economy with like multiple cities. For now, just I was thinking about like 3, but it's like a random number that can be added more. That will have like an economy between themselves. There are going to be like a much more complicated mechanic in this side for the economy side, and it will allow you. What will happen is that there's going to be other new buildings that will be introduced. Like for example, there is going to be a kitchen that is going to be introduced where you can just make your products, your crops better. So you can make advanced meals, for example, and these advanced meals will give you more money. There's other parts. There's going to be like, for example, bees, and bees will be able to translate into different products that will be used like in the industry sector and things like that. So there's going to be like, you're going to make it better products, it will get more money. But at the same time, other mechanics will be available to you. Like for example, you'll be able to drive yourself to the towns to sell things. Even though you can do that, you will get more money from it, but at the same time you'll not be able to tend your crops. So there's going to be like an automation that is going to start growing afterwards in here. There are going to be like 3 main pillars of development. One is going to be just the one that we just talked about. Another one is going to be more focused on like transportation and how things will go from one place to another. And then there's going to be one other pillar that I think is going to be more connected to automation and making products better so they can be sold at a higher price. So I think that's basically it. Does that make sense? Like I have like this all kind of written down like in like a different format, but for right now I think like as I was speaking, as I was telling it to other folks, like some things just occurred to me and I'm like, oh, I forgot about that. So that's more or less like the idea. So as I was saying, like I was debating between like a 2D and 3D. Like I think in one hand 2D is going to be easier, and as a matter of fact, with better drawings, I hope. So I made like a description of the game, and I asked AI to generate some stuff for me, like some images I don't let me see if I can find what was generated for me. Let me see. Let me see if I can find. Oh, okay. Can I open this? Okay. So there we go. So these were like the options that were given to me by the AI as like a solution. And one thing that I kind of said, like, I really want to make this 3D. It was like this image here. I really like this. Like, there's something in this image that I really like. But at the same time, like when we were talking about automation and things like that, this kind of looks like Stardew Valley, but a little bit more with a little bit more like technology associated to it and stuff. But like the main thing that I think like I was having a hard time imagining the game, like the type of game, not looking like Stardew Valley. 2.5D are talking like the Stardew Valley module where you see it like from a top down and you have like there's some sort of like looks like there's like 3D and there's movement and things like that. Is that what you're saying? I really like this image. If like the end product would look something like this, I'd be happy. Even though like my so my idea is to give it like a steampunk-ish vibe to the game, even though like when you think about steampunk you think about like very dark images and very dark because of like steam, right, and smoke and things like that. Kind of give it like a spin because like in the end I think this is like the more steampunkish vibe would go for, but I feel like this is like kind of like a little bit too realistic for for my going. Like I also like this image. They are kind of similarish in terms of like maybe the aesthetics that I was thinking about, but that's like you see like when you're talking about when we are talking about like automation and things like that, this is kind of what I've been like envisioning for like for it to how can it happen and like how could the game evolve. So yeah, that's more or less the expectation that I will get from it. But we'll see. We'll see where we get. So yeah. Yeah, it's like basically it's I see what you're saying. Like in the end it's kind of like this what we could get with like any of these we could get that, but like it would be something like that we can say like looks more like kind of this can give you like this. So yeah, I like the idea of like 3D, and I thought that like maybe 3D would be like the way to go, but as I'm talking myself into it, I think 3D would be cool if there's more to it than just you go farming and then like just transport stuff to other places, right? Because you'd have to have more like you'd have to have like I think eventually like some sort of like terrain manipulation and like having everything flat maybe it doesn't make sense for a 3D world where you just walk in it. It is like everything is flat. So because like I don't think dabbling into terrain modification and stuff like that is going to be very helpful to get started, especially to somebody that knows zero about all of this process and stuff like that. So this is going to be a lot of learning and I guess a lot of head banging in Blender and Godot to get all this going, right? So yeah, that's kinda where we are. So like that's it. The idea, like the main idea like behind this. So I think I'm going to like rely a lot on I'm going to rely a lot on things that are like pre-made and that are that are going to that I can find online to at least to start with, and we'll see where we go. Can I move you? Let's see. Can I move you to the second desktop? Nope. Why can I not send you to the second desktop? That's sad. Okay, I'll have to find a way to send you to the second desktop. But for right now, maybe I can just get us going here. And we'll go from there. Okay, go back to this one. And what about you? Can I send you to the other desktop? Let me, if I send you here, click you there. Okay, no. No, okay, I cannot. It's fine. This is fine, I guess. I'll have to find like my clicks around. You can check Kenny for pre-made. It's nice for a rush. Kenny, are you saying K? K-Kit? This? Or are you talking about something else? Because if it is K, like the K-Kit things, like I have downloaded a bunch of them. Trying to look around. Kind of, yo, it's a website with a bunch of them. Oh, is there like another website? Oh, I didn't know about this one. Let me just put you here. Like, I was just looking at each. Huh, interesting. Is this just basically they have like, what does this look like? Oh, you can get like the bundles and stuff like that. Interesting. Retro Urban Kit. That looks interesting. Okay, maybe I'll look into that because like I was thinking about like I think like that the easiest solution is to have like some sort of like a grid system for the terrain, and having like blocks I think it's going to be helpful for that. I don't like I don't dislike this one here, but at the same time it's just like I shouldn't be like, if the theme is going to be some sort of like steampunkish, I don't think this fits at all. But yeah, I'll give this a look. Definitely. Is there like any search? Like that's another thing that I'm not 100% sure. Like, if I decide to go like with a 2.5, like some sort of like an isometric um, view, should the assets be 3D or should they be 2D? Because like some things I don't think I'll need the full structure, like bones and stuff for like characters. I don't even know like how many characters I'm going to have, to be fair. So oh, look at that. Okay, let me check. I don't get these googly eyes. They just look funny. Miniature bases. Content is free. Yeah, in the end, it's something like, oh, this is just like bases for the games. It's not like really. You can get by with 2D, I think, like an older platformer or even Pokemon. Yeah, I think I saw a game that had like an art that was pretty similar to this. It was not. It was not really. Yeah, but I didn't want it to be like too blocky either. But at the same time, maybe that would be like the best way to go. I don't know. And in the end, like you can always just use like something like this and then just mishmash the blocks that you care about. Yeah, something like this, right? Which in this, in this scenario, to look something like this side, and you'd have like I didn't dislike that um the idea that Wizard was talking about, like the idea of islands. Maybe it would be like even more interesting if it is like an island style where you just have like an island and eventually you just have like a platform. Yeah, I don't dislike that. And interestingly enough, there's like, which one was this? This one had like this tag. Roads, roads with water, landscape. Look at that. So there's a lot of blocks. I think like in the like the more complicated thing is going to be like if I just select 2 or 3 different types, is going to be like kind of mismatch everything. Like it could be like a little bit of a mishmash. Miniature library, miniature dungeons. Like this one looks interesting as a thing. I'm not sure like how like enterable these things would be, but it could work in some sense, like the like Stardew, right? Where if you enter a building, you have a completely new scene that is shown to you. That is like the interior of the house. So that could be something to think about. But yeah, I really like these 3D models that K-Kit has. I really like them, and he has like he, I don't know if it's a he or a she. They have like a very interesting like set of different things that you could just use. Isometric. There's an episometric. Oh, download already? Isn't there like a button? Oh, to see. This feels like very Minecrafty. Like the things. Voxel Soul Gothic. Not gonna lie, I don't dislike this vibe either. Okay, this is like, this is really like Minecrafty. Let me see. Oh my god, what is happening? My internet is dying. Everybody, what are you doing with my internet? Modular dungeons. Blah blah blah. Sprite billboard. What is that? Interesting. Yeah, I feel like that this might be like this 2.5 might be like the way to go. Ah. You thought you'll get away with sucking my internet and you won't notice? Yeah, you wish. Oh, by the way, I forgot to add chat here. Where would chatty chat go to? Browser, all chat. Maybe you can go over here and we can make it a little bit bigger. Like so. Okay, cool. Test. Ah, there we go. We have chat now. Like changing things on the fly. Look at that. Triplanar shaders and stuff. Like for some reason, I think that so like I just updated the plugin for for OBS that I used to like to stream, and I feel like there's something using my computer. I don't know what it is, but I feel like things are a little bit slow on this side. Oh, that's interesting. Like do they sell just like this one particular model, like this one tree? That's it? $2. That's it. Look at that. $3. Who wants to buy a tree? Wow. Like I didn't know that people were selling like the assets like per item. I assume that they would be selling like more some sort of like collections, asset like collections. But yeah, like I don't dislike crazily this one, but this is just buildings and I don't think we need much buildings. I like that farm one that we saw as well. Like this 3D kitchen. Yes, so I think that's like, where was it? I think it was right on the top, was it not? Oh, look at this countryside. I didn't see this one. Yeah, I don't know. It's like different parts. Like this is the house and so on and so forth. Okay. But yeah, so that's more or less like some of these things. I think we're going to be playing with them. I'll download some of them. I'll put them somewhere where we'll be looking into them and we'll go from there. And it's almost 5, so also kind of means that I think this is not gonna run for too long, I guess. Let me see. Mm. What can I click on? Just chatting is gonna send me to just chatting. Am I? What is the category? Are we in the correct category? I think we are. Cool. But yeah. So that's. I think that's kind of it. Is that kind of it? Like if I just come back here, problem is that I will not see chat on this scenario on this side. But if I go like it's pretty good. Like Godot is just like a single thing, right? But at the same time, I don't even know where I put it. Is it in my downloads folder? Let me check. Yeah, I think it might be. Is the one? I did extract this. Okay, sorry. Like, sorry guys. I'm trying to find where I might have placed Godot. Even though y'all are not seeing what I'm doing, I promise you that's what I'm doing, okay? Okay, if I right click, open location. Oh, yeah, I extracted it here. Oh yeah, look at that. Cooking Wars. Huh? What is Cooking Wars? I don't even know what Cooking Wars is. But yeah, so I think that that's yeah, no fuzzy search. What? I'm gonna leave like that. Like there's some search here, but not like I don't think this is like the greatest search that we have on on Windows. So that's that. Okay, I think we can rename the game later. So it's going to be just something around those lines. To be fair, like kinda we could kind of like just go crazy, but I don't think we should. So that's good. There you go. And I think that's it. We made it. We made it to Godot. So as you can see, great. That is awesome. And that's basically it. And this is going to be some sort of like a 2D scene, and voila. Okay. Now, the question is, how are we gonna get started? Can I send you to the other side? Let me just do a quick Google search. Project settings first thing, so you don't come back to it later. What do you mean project settings first thing? Oops, there you go. Oh, like you're saying like changing up here? This is where it changes? They're like, ooh, advanced settings, look at that. There's a bunch of stuff. So I opened this before. I've been around this a little bit. I was able to build a very simple thing. And when I say very simple, I'm really talking very simple thing. Before, so and I need to find out like what are the like the size of the window and so on. Oh, okay, got it. To be fair, like I didn't even know what size of the windows of window we would be talking here about. Wall cells, blah, blah, blah. Physics. Oh, look at that. We have .NET, and I think that's something that I also wanted to try out, is to see if we add some .NET, like what it would look like. Because even though I'm okay with Python, I want this to be like an initial stepping stone for us. Viewport. I don't know, like that? And if we start, select the current scene. There we go. And it starts. How are y'all? Do you like it? So yeah, that's it. That's it. Okay, so this one thing here. Like one thing that I didn't understand, like 100% sure, and it's like these buttons here, like the input, the 2D and 3D. Like I clicked around, I tried to make it, try to understand a little bit better, but I did have a little bit of a hard time going through it. But yeah. There we go. And the first things that what we want here, like I think there's going to have to be some sort of like, is there like an environment, world environment? There we go. And this, like this is very like helpful, right? Because we can see the, like, it just tells you what are the things that are missing. It requires an environment property to contain an environment, its camera attributes property. And I think these are like basically it. I have no idea like what will be needed for these things, but I guess we will be finding out. And there's, I think, some sort of like light. We'll want some sort of like this is all 3D. Oh, we don't need, do we need lights in here? Yes, we do. So point light, cast a light in 2D environment. This light shape is defined. Okay. We'll have to see if we want something around these lights or not. So is this, nope, it's not. Oh, this, it needs something else. Texture property. TPI noise. Ooh. And you can have like one thing that like, is this like the size of the viewport? What is this thing on the side? I have no idea. So yeah, I think for today, I think it's going to be it. And I do have to go pick up my kid and stuff like that. But I think that just set us up for like more or less, it's your canvas, I think. So basically it's the thing that we're going to see. What? It's a thing that we're going to kind of see when we start. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. And this would be our like farm. And okay, 0, 0. Because like you can transform like rotation. So one thing that I didn't understand, like these scales, like one thing that I had like a little bit of a trouble getting was the like sizes of stuff. Because I was looking through the like transforms and stuff, and like when I played a little bit around with like Unreal, you could set like pretty easily the size of the things that you wanted, right? Like you want like a 10 by 10, it just says a 10 by 10 for you. In here, like there's like, I found out the scale stuff, but sometimes I couldn't really find the things that I was looking for. But yep, So I guess that's that. So I'll try to watch a little bit of some videos to get us started, then so that we don't have to be just me looking at me just clicking buttons and doing things. But and so to see if we can get a little bit more things of stuff going on. So I'll also look into these two. Oh, it was this isometric miniature farm that I was looking at. Yep. So on this side, so maybe we'll have some sort of like a mix and match between the two types, and we'll see from there how that works. Sounds good. I'll also see like what would be like the first steps, because like I think that the couple of first steps that we'll need is we need some sort of like an actor, right? And that actor is going to then move around, and the camera is going to have to be attached to that actor. I do think that there are already some of those libraries like in here, like isometric. Is there like anything related? So if we did that, there's no isometric support feature community. Okay. Because there's like character movement, like move character or some sort of character, and there's a bunch of things that I know that we could eventually like piggyback. I did like in another project try it a little bit, but I didn't had the best like I included one of these, but then I was not able to like configure it very well. Like it took me a little bit to get like click here, click there, and to get this to work. But I think that what is this? Modular. This is build strong basis for any 3D controller to build any game object that might be controlled in any way. That's good. That's not really what we want. So that would have to be some sort of like 2D. And there might not be like too much to go with, because if we want the camera centered on our character, we just need to make sure that whenever the character moves, the camera moves with the character, right? Like it's not like too out of scope there, I think. So the player movements and such, I think you have the bases already built in. Oh, okay. Okay, that's good. Good to know. But like, I think I know what you're talking about. What you're saying is that like if I just add a character, it's like character here, it will need, I think it needs a physics, a collision, and collision, right? And this one needs create a shape. So we need some sort of like a shape to it. And the shape would be some sort of like a circle or whatever, right? If we go back to 2D, the character, then we just need to add we need to add like whatever scene that we want, right? And then I think it's in here. If we just did a character, like just that thing, and this is what basically you're saying, right? Like if you move left, it moves left. If you move right, it moves right. And it just changes the directions. This is like by default what Godot gives you when you start a new thing. It's a character body. Yep. Yeah, I think I've seen this. What? I clicked it. I've seen this. Nevertheless, we do have to do some changes, because if you want to go like up, down, and crossways and stuff, but I think this is enough to get us started. You have like some sort of shape here. Uh, if we do like a node to the and it is a mesh, is the mesh, and the mesh will be some sort of like a capsule mesh or something with a texture like this. Is this enough? I think this might, is this enough? Let's see. Where's the character body? The character body is grounded. Oh, it's not there. I assume that this is what we needed. Maybe it's not. Maybe we need something else. So this is like the types of texture. It doesn't show much. Yeah, that's like the kind of thing that I was talking about. And a material, there's no materials here. Okay. Is there any materials from add-ons? I don't think so. So we don't have any materials. You would have to canvas item. Nope. Blend. Yeah, I don't think I have like, but can I have you here? Oh, wow. This is very small. Okay, the problem is that this is too small. And this is just like the material itself that just did the thing. What if I just give you this? I think I needed some sort of like a mesh. And then our collision can be much smaller, right? I don't think we can even see it because it's so small. And our viewport is maybe too big. So that's that. But yeah, I think I'm going to okay, cool. So I think that's going to be it for today. It's already 5:05, and tomorrow we'll take a look. Oh, I forgot to send this to the social medias, but I guess that's that. I don't know, Virgil. Like Shady Sapi just said that exactly the same letters, like exactly the same things. I don't know. Um, I don't know. It's interesting because like in the like on the streamer bot area, like if I show it to you, it's like this is what the chat looks like, right? If you try to click on stuff, you could like ban people and things. But unfortunately, apparently, like this doesn't work very well on all platforms. So you have to go manually and just time people out and ban people, I guess. But it is what it is. And I don't know if it's like a timing thing, but it depends on the, like for example, in the morning when I start streaming, I get like this pretty quickly. These ones are taking a little bit more time, but it is what it is. But I think that's going to be it for today, folks. I think that's going to be it for today. Why gaming Twitch? Because it's not gaming that I wanted to click, right? Just chatting. There you go. Or just chatting Halloween. There you go. Much better. Okay, I think that's going to be it for today. I did. Oh, interesting. I think this is. I don't know if this is correct or not. When I say this is like last follower, I don't know if the last follower is correct or not. I would have to check. But I'm just getting this like the first when it starts the stream, so maybe I need to do this a little bit more often. But yeah, so for tomorrow I think I'm going to keep on doing like these streams, like afternoon streams for me, like some night streams for all y'all. where I'm just going to be doing some software development. I'm going to be building this game that we discussed today. And I'm going to be doing other stuff related to like other projects as well. And I think I'm going to use this time after we stream in the morning, where we currently are playing like Vintage Story. But yeah, so like that's more or less the idea. In the meanwhile, I'm going to try to see if there's like any tips or tricks or something for us to get started with like the isometric. I think that was a good idea, and so thank you very much for that. I was in the mix, like I was a little bit concerned that it would look too much Stardew Valley-ish, but I guess as we build it, we'll see what it looks like and such, I guess. But yeah, thank you all for watching. If you like this, but if you have like any idea, if you know any tutorials or something like that that you think it would be interesting for us to look into, you can always drop by our Discord link right here. You can drop by our Discord and we can chat about it there. So maybe I will even create like a different channel for this. I don't know. If general becomes a little bit too cluttered, maybe I will, but maybe not right now. But join us on Discord, follow on all the platforms, subscribe on the platforms that are subscribed, and so that we can grow our community together. All right. Thank you all for watching. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. Central Time, US. We'll go again with our Vintage Story. So today's the 28th of October. On the 13th, unfortunately, I was not able to get a key to start playing Anno beforehand, and I don't think I will be getting a key beforehand, but we're still trying to go through that and see if there's like any possibility. I think I might change our streams. I might do some Anno as well, because I really want to try the game. I really want to play the game. Every time that I see people playing Anno, I'm like, oh, I wish that was me. I want to play. I don't know like how long that is going to take to get out of my system. But for right now, like we're playing with the community in Stardew Valley. So, my God, Stardew Valley. I'm going to be dreaming about Stardew Valley now. We're playing Vintage Story, and we're going to keep on playing on the server with the community. And eventually, I think we'll have to play like maybe add a little bit of a different games, and we'll see how things go with that. Sounds good? All right. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow, 10 a.m. Central Time. Bye for now. And by the way, you see me a lot looking to the left side of the screen, or like to one of the sides, is because like the plugin is on that side, and it's like the feedback that I'm getting and like all the chats and stuff are there, so that's why. But yeah, all right, thank you all, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye bye.